Hi! So this week's video is going to be a tutorial on this look here. It's sort of a natural glam-ish look, if you will. I definitely have done looks like this in the past, but this look is because I really wanted to showcase this Urban Decay Gwen Stefani lipstick that I bought. The line overall I'm really not super impressed with because a lot of them look like stuff I have, but this lipstick in Firebird is like this beautiful, like bright, vibrant pink with like a blue shift. It's so unique and so beautiful, and it wears lovely. I'm like in love with this. So that's what the lipstick looks like there without any lip liner underneath it. In this video I do wear a lip liner though. So to start off with, I have my eyebrows already done in this video. I used my Essence eyebrow pencil in black and my Blink Cosmetics eyebrow mousse in black as well. And then we're going to move into primer. So I used my Sephora Collection 10-Hour Wear Primer. It's one of those very silicone-y type primers, you know what I mean? It's not the most moisturizing, but I've been feeling like my pores look really big lately, so this is what I wanted to use. I decided to pat this primer in rather than rubbing it around because I don't know, I find that when I use a silicone primer and I rub it around, it just kind of messes with the moisturizer that I have underneath it, and then it gets all streaky and weird. I don't know, I'm just not a fan, so I prefer to pat my silicone primers on rather than rub. It's just a personal preference thing. And now for my foundation, I've been feeling like I'm in between these two shades, so I'm mixing my Maybelline Better Skins in Classic Ivory and Porcelain Ivory. There's really no rhyme or reason to how I'm placing them on my face. I wish I could say that there was, but there is not, because realistically I take a big kabuki brush and just kind of do big circly motions and mix everything together anyway. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I really love this foundation. As you know, if you watch my channel, you know that I'm like obsessed with this foundation. And there probably is a shade in between these two, but these are the two that I have. I bought obviously the one more in the summer and this one in the winter, and I've been feeling in between. So we're just gonna do this, rub it around in big circular motions. And then what I like to do after I have everything all blended and nice is I like to take my damp beauty blender and just kind of bounce it all over my face to just make sure that I have A, excess product off, and then B, to make sure that everything is blended and nice. I just find that the addition of the beauty blender just makes everything blend and look a little bit nicer, you know? You know. Now I got this deluxe sample of Benefit's new product. It's called the Shy Beam. It's essentially like a matte highlighter, and it's got like a sort of peachy kind of tone to it, and I've been using it as my under eye concealer lately actually because it's got the right amount of peachiness to kind of combat a lot of the darkness that I have under my eyes. It's matte, so it's not super sparkly, and it does cover quite a bit, as you see there. Like, obviously I haven't blended it out yet, but it does look nice. I really like it. So I just kind of slap it on right there in the corner, and then I blend it out with my beauty blender. And then what I like to do lately also is I like to take the very tip of my beauty blender and I like to dip it into my e.l.f. HD setting, my e.l.f. HD powder, sorry, and then I like to bake, if you will, just that inner tear ducty area. Nothing beyond that, because if I go beyond that, then I'm gonna like really start to make my skin look dry and accentuate all my wrinkly bits. But right there in the corner, like as you can see there, looks really, really nice, and I'm really, really happy that I discovered this method because it makes my concealer last and look better. Now I have these three e.l.f. All Over color sticks. I have it in the shades Spotlight, Apricot Beige, and Toffee. I actually didn't end up using Apricot Beige in this video, so just ignore that. But Spotlight is this like white, kind of champagne-y, sparkly color, so I used it as my highlight. Now I actually regret taking it right from the tube and putting it right on my face. I probably wouldn't do that again just because it was a little bit too thick. It looks fine, don't get me wrong, but like 8 hours later I could see it starting to break up on my cheeks. So for future reference, I will only be using that like with I'll wipe my finger over it and then I'll dab it on my face. But regardless, this is how I did it this time. So I put it directly on my face and I blended it out with my beauty blender, and then I take the e.l.f. All Over color stick in the shade Toffee and I use that for my contour. Now I know that sounds a little bit too intense for me. I'm usually not that intense with my contour, but this is actually so easy. This is easier than most of the other methods I've done. So you see I make that little line on my cheek there, and then I just honestly bounce the beauty blender over it a whole bunch, and the way it just blends it out, it just looks so natural. Like you probably couldn't even see it on my face in real life if you tried, but I know it's there. I know it's there, and that's what matters. So I just take this color stick all in all the normal contour places, so the cheekbones, down the sides of my nose, and definitely all over my forehead, like the edge of my forehead, if you will. I go ham on my forehead, but I don't use it under my chin because I have a very short neck and I don't like putting cream-ish products down there because I feel like I'm going to A, get it all over my shirt, and B, all over my chest. So just so you know, you're not going to see me do this down there, but when I go over this with a powder, that I do under my chin. Where's my voice going to? So yeah, just bouncing the beauty blender all over it just to blend it all out. You know how it is. I go really, really dark on the forehead contour. I don't know why. I guess I know that I can pull it off up there, so I do it, and it takes much longer to blend out than any other part of my face because I put so much on. But I won't lie to you, I don't hate how it looks. I kind of like it. It's like the right kind of contour. I'm a super fan of it. And then to set all this contour, because I definitely do want to put a powder over it, I found this Sephora Collection eyeshadow. It's in the shade My Dear Nude. It's almost a dupe, almost exactly a dupe for the Urban Decay shade Naked 2 that's in the Naked Basics palette. It's just maybe a smidgen warmer. On my skin, it definitely comes off warmer. It looks very gray-based in the pan, but it's definitely warmer on my skin. And this is what I've been using to contour lately. I really like it for that because it's not way darker than my skin, you know what I mean? It's just like a little bit darker. To me, it's very much so the shade that an actual shadow on my skin would look like. So I just put that all over where I contour on my forehead, on my cheekbones, under my chin, like I said, and then I grab a smaller brush and I do down the sides of my nose, and then a little bit on the end of my nose as well, because you gotta shorten that nose sometimes. Some days are short nose days, and some days are whatever. Y'all can deal with my big nose. Then I realized that after I put on my foundation, I forgot to set my eyelids because I was kind of using my foundation as an eyeshadow primer. So then I dip into my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I just take this e.l.f. Small tapered brush and just set all of that. And then I go back into that contour shade and I add that into the crease, into the eye socket, if you will, of my eyeballs, just to create a shadow there as well that matches the rest of my face. That's something that I've really been into lately. Even though I do go in over top of that and add other eyeshadows, I like having that natural but actually fake shadow as my base, you know? I promise, there's a method to my madness. It does make sense. Then I'm going into my trusty Tartelette palette, the original one, and this is what we're going to be using on my eyeballs today. So I'm going to be using the shade Power Player first. It's kind of just like a matte gray shade, and that's what we're going to be putting in our eye socket on top of that contour shade that we just put there. So like honestly directly right on top, just to kind of gray up the contour shade a little bit, if that makes any sense. I don't know, I've been really into like gray and purple kind of light smoky eyes lately, so that's kind of what I went for here, and it works with the lipstick. So now we're going to take the shade Natural Beauty and we're going to put that on top as well, just because I wanted it to have a little bit more of a pinkier tinge to it, especially around the sort of perimeter of the eyeshadow, you know what I mean? Just to kind of gradient everything together, so that's what we're doing. And then I'm going into the shade Best Friend, which is like a darker purple matte color. And I'm taking a skinny little brush. This is actually a newer e.l.f. brush. This is their crease brush. I don't know why they didn't do like a big launch for this. I love this brush. And we're just putting the shade on the outer corner of my eye and then blending it into the socket farther as necessary. And then I'm taking this big e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and just kind of going over everything to blend it all together again. Now for my lid color, I actually did switch to the Naked Basics palette, and I'm using the shade Walk of Shame. It's this like very light white sort of pinky shade. The reason we're using this instead of the very similar shade in the Tartelette palette is because it just kind of falls flat. I think it's called Supermom in the Tartelette palette. It's just not as pigmented and it's just a little bit harder to work with, unfortunately, so I'm always switching back and forth between these two palettes whenever I do this eye look. Something I love about doing my crease first and then my eyelid is that I end up with this like soft cut crease look. It's amazing. So now going into my e.l.f. Illuminating palette, I'm going to take this sort of pinky shimmery shade and just a little bit on this big fluffy brush, and we're going to wipe off all that extra powder from my tear duct where we did the baking sort of thing. By using an illuminating powder to do this, we're going to make sure that we don't leave it with a super matte finish, because that super matte finish is what's going to make us look kind of dry and cakey up there. But so, like I said, yeah, by using like a illuminating powder, we're going to make it look a little bit shinier, a little bit healthier. And then we're going to take that same powder on this e.l.f. Small Tapered brush, and we're going to pack it onto my cheekbones. Sorry, I'm like so far away from the camera. I was trying to use the natural light for my illuminating stuff up in here. And then I don't have this on camera, but I actually did also take that powder on my eyelid, what's it called? Brow bone, and into my tear duct. And now using the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, I'm just going to set my whole face in place. And then after you've sprayed, you have to make sure that you don't emote for a couple minutes so that everything can kind of set nicely without getting all gross. So just do a little dance, check your phone, look at the Pugs of Instagram page because it's probably my favorite. And then once your face is dry, you can move on. I've been using the Kat Von D ink liner lately, not the tattoo liner, the ink liner. You know that I love my Essence liquid eyeliner. It's so good. But I've been feeling lately like it's not super waterproof. If my eyes get watery even a little bit, it like smudges everywhere and crumbles and I get like all black all over my eyelid. So I decided to try out this Kat Von D one. I really like it so far. It's very dark, very matte, very easy to apply, and very waterproof. But my one qualm with this is you have to be so gentle. If you push even a little bit too hard on your eyelid, it's going to catch on your skin and create that really jagged line. It's gonna like wrinkle. So like you have to, like a feather light touch, be so gentle with this eyeliner, or else you will have a disaster on your hands. That's why some days my eyeliner is like really thick because I push too hard and then I just have to keep building it up to fix it. Oh, the struggle, the winged liner struggle. I know you know how I feel. And then after this, what do I do after this? Mascara? Yes, that's what I do after this. So after this, what you're going to want to do is curl your eyelashes, and then my mascara in this video is like so extra. You don't have to spend this money on mascara or whatever. But because I do have the Dior primer, that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it with the mascara that goes with it, the Dior Show mascara. Now this is actually a sample size. This is my second sample size because we keep having Dior representatives at my local Sephora. Like, look at that brush though. Like, it looks so basic. I can't believe this mascara is so good. But anyway, we keep having the like Dior representatives at my Sephora, and they keep being different people, and I love this mascara so much that I always go up to them and I'm like, tell me about this mascara, and then they like try to sell it to me, and I'm like, I just can't afford it right now, I'm sorry, and then they give me a sample. This is my second sample. This is my second time doing that, and I feel terrible, but that's like a $36 mascara. I'm never gonna buy it, but I will keep getting samples if I can, you know. But yeah, it's so nice. I love how it makes my eyelashes look. So I put it, you know, a generous coat on my top lashes, and then I put a smidgen on my bottom lashes. I really don't like really intense bottom lashes on me. I just don't. And then I'm going to take this Essence eyeliner, like the white shade, and I'm going to take that on my lower waterline just to really brighten things up. A lot of people are really into the nude shades on their lower waterline. I'm not. I prefer the white. I just think it suits me better. Do what you got to do for you, you know? Do your makeup for you. That's all that matters. I like the way the white looks on my eyes. Maybe you like the way the nude looks. Maybe you like black eyeliner. Go for it. And then I take a little bit of that contour shade and I take it under the lash line there just to create kind of like a shadow effect, as if my eyelashes were like so long and so perfect that they were literally shading my eyeballs. And then I'm going to take this Milani lip liner in the shade Bordeaux. It's like a really dark, reddy kind of color. Sorry my room got so dark all of a sudden, by the way. The sun decided to just leave. I don't know where it went, but it's just gone, and that's what lights the whole back of my room. I'm sorry. So lately I've been really into overlining my lips, especially my top lip. My top lip is like really small, so it's really easy to overline and have it be completely undetectable. So overlining and then filling my lips in, and then the final step is the star of the show, and that is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani lipstick in Firebird. Let me just tell you, this lipstick is amazing. It transfers like crazy. Like, it was all over my cup when I was drinking and that sort of thing, but then I would like look in the mirror and my lips would look perfectly fine, like nothing had changed, and it was moisturizing and it's got that blue shift. I'm just like, I'm in love with this lipstick. If I could marry this lipstick, I would. But yeah, after that, that is the completed look. I hope you liked it. Maybe you learned something. Maybe it was helpful to you in some way. As always, if you have any ideas or requests for future videos, please feel free to let me know because I would love to make it. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!